Hello and welcome to our online complete guide on how to research effectively. This is incredibly important if you're going to become a really good independent learner. So what is research? The dictionary definition of research is to systematically investigate into and study materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. So it's basically finding out information and facts so that you can come to your own conclusion about a question. And as we've discussed in year 9, we can actually break that word down. The re stands for read and the search to look for. So you read and you look for. So why do you need to research? Your music course requires you to find out information and write it up in your own words. So there are a number of different parts, your maintenance, your health and safety, all of your musical knowledge work. You will do this more and more as you go through your educational journey. So you need to be able to do it properly. In college, there will be much more independent work. When you get to university, you'll have more independent work than you have actual face-to-face lessons. And when you get to a master's level, nearly everything that you do is you finding it out for yourself. And if you don't do this properly and you steal information without putting it into your own words, then you commit something called plagiarism. And plagiarism is where you copy other people's work and don't acknowledge it. If you do this, you will fail your course. And also, you'll become a much more independent learner, and that will mean that you'll be able to complete tasks without as much guidance. So, how do you research? The clue again is in the word, the read, and the search. So you read and search. I'm going to talk you through a step-by-step process that goes through 6 different steps that will take you to getting some really good information. These steps are: you clarify, you search, you explore, you read and evaluate, you make notes, and then you reference. So let's take this one point at a time. Step 1, you clarify. So what is it that you want to find out? Specifically, what are you looking for without any waffle? What are the key words here that you can use? So an example that I've come up with is one of the musical knowledge tasks, which is to find out the origins of hip hop. So I don't need the words to find out the in my search. So I can just write in the origins of hip hop. That's what I want to find out specifically. So I don't need any other words there. So I've made sure that I know what I'm searching for first. Then I move on to actually doing the search. So to do this, you put your important keywords into a search engine like Google. You use quotation marks if you want those words to be in the exact order. If you don't get the results you're looking for, then you need to alter the words that you put into the search engine. Okay, so you put in your keywords into the search engine. What will come up is a number of different results. Okay, so what you need to do now is explore those results. You don't just click on the first ones, because the first ones are often ads. They're people who have paid Google to appear first. You explore them because some of the websites won't be relevant. They might be targeted as a much older age group, a much younger age group. They might be targeted at professionals. So you want some websites that are going to give you information that's useful for you. And you do this by looking at them. And can you understand them? Or is the vocabulary used much more detailed and very, very complex and far beyond what you need? Look at a number of different results to get the best ones. So here's an example here of where I've typed in the origins of hip hop to Google. As you can see, the first one that's come up is Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not a bad thing to use, but you need to bear in mind that anybody can post to Wikipedia. Absolutely anyone. So your next door neighbour could be posting about quantum physics and they don't know anything about it, and that's not actually policed. So whilst Wikipedia can be useful, it's often not the best source to use. There's a number of different things there I can explore. If I take an example, if I click on this one here, some of the words here: political advocacy, function of its predecessors, forms of resistance to system subjugation. The vocabulary in that is much too difficult for me, so I won't use that one. However, if I go to the one below, it actually takes me to a GCSE bite-size revision page. That is much more useful for someone who is your age, because it's aimed at you and your level of work that you should produce. So you're going to explore the different sites and come up with some good ones. Once you've chosen the ones that you want to use, you're going to actually read the information. That's the read part of the word, the research. So read the information, skim it first. If you doubt its authenticity, if you think it's, you're not entirely sure if that's correct, you might want to cross-reference it by looking at a different page to see if they're saying the same thing. Make sure you understand what you're reading and get a really good overview of the question that you're trying to answer. Then ask yourself, is this source useful? If the answer is yes, then you can move on to step 5. If it's no, go back to step 3 and have a look at different websites. You're then moving to step 5, which is to make notes. The golden rule here is to use paper and pen, and this will stop the urge to copy and paste large chunks of information. First of all, look back at the initial question, what you're trying to answer. Then note down the important information that actually answers that question. Leave out the information that doesn't answer the question. Really important, only note down the relevant points and put it in your own words. By this point, you should have some notes that are relevant to the question that you're trying to answer. You can then move on to step 6. This is where you reference. All of your work should have a references page at the end. This is where you show the different websites and the books that you've got your information from. And it's really important that you do this so that you avoid plagiarism. If you do plagiarise, then you fail your course and it's really not worth it. So you'll go copy the web link or the book details, put them into alphabetical order on your references page. Okay, and another video is going to be uploaded alongside this one, which will explain how to do this in much more detail. Then you're going to repeat the process until you've got enough information from different sources to be able to answer your question in detail. You're now going to move on to using that information. So you've got notes in your own words that's going to let you answer the question. Think about the headings that you're going to use and organise your notes. Maybe use different coloured highlighters. For an example, if you're talking about the origins of hip hop, one subheading could be geography. So then you could highlight everything to do with where hip hop music come from in maybe pink, and then choose another heading and highlight the information that you're going to use for this heading in a different colour. You're then in a position to take your notes to your computer and begin to write up your answer in your own words. So the checklist for our research, our reading and searching, is that you clarify, you search, you explore, you read and evaluate, you make notes, and then you reference. The best way to get good at this is just to do it. The more that you do it, the easier it becomes. So good luck. Use this guide to help you get your work and your information ready for all of your assignments. If you've got any questions, feel free to email. Goodbye.